Hi children, welcome to grade 6 English and this is our session 2 in chapter 4, the necklace of pearls. And before getting into our session, let's recap what we have seen in our earlier session. And first one is comic strip, and in this comic strip we have seen that discussion between the aliens and the robonorm about the importance and power of mother's love and also about the sentence structure. Yeah, there are many different structures of sentences with same meaning. And in this discussion between aliens, we can come to know that there is one rule that we must follow. That is, we must understand the sentence whichever way we say it, and the meaning of a sentence must remain unchanged. But without changing the meaning, why we are making many different sentence structure? Yeah, that is what we are going to learn in this chapter. And children, we have also learned buzzword. Yes, we have learned many different words: touch, parish, dosing, bay, nymph, trifle, appetite, frail, submit, filtre, for chance, monotonous, and bow. And I hope you all are clear with all these buzzwords and their meanings. And now let's read the story, The Necklace of Pearls. And children, there is a conversation between aliens and the robo-norm. Astridak, Clonidak, who is that one person without whom you can't imagine your life? Clonidak, it's my mother. I love her very much. I just can't imagine my life without her. Who is that person in your life? Astridak, I love everybody, but I am most attached to my mother. Robonorm, such is the love of a mother. It has been the theme of many literary pieces, and this story is one of it. I can share one with you right now. And children, in your concept book, all of you take page number 43. And this story is about a poor woman and her only son Francisco, and they lived in a tiny cottage on the steep rocky hillside of one of the islands of Azores. And every day the boy used to go to fishing with his little boat, and every night he brought home fish for his mother to cook for their evening meal, that is dinner, and to carry into the market to sell. In this way, they lived very comfortably and they loved each other dearly. Francisco was the handsomest boy in the whole parish, with his fair skin, blue eyes, and thatch of curly golden hair. And by the time he was 16 years old, there was a rich man's daughter who had smiled upon him. And however, the lad thought only of his fishing boat and his mother always. So he did not notice the smiles. And one night the moon was so bright and Francisco could not able to sleep. He awakened his mother, who was dozing comfortably in her bed. And here you can see the picture of both the old woman and her son Francisco. I am going fishing, mother dear, he said as he kissed her. The moonlight is calling me. His mother started up from her bed in terror and shock and surprise. Why, my boy, do you do such thing as this? She asked. You never went fishing in the night before. Some evil will surely befall you, so better you don't go. Don't worry about me, dear mother, replied Francisco, laughing at her fears. I know how to take care of myself. It is as light as day. Think how many fish I'll bring back for you to sell in the market tomorrow, he said. His mother shook her head anxiously, but with another loving kiss. The lad ran out into the bright moonlight. He quickly launched his little fishing boat and soon was floating smoothly along on the peaceful waters of the bay, which gleamed like a silver pathway in the moonlight. The soft air, the gentle rocking of the little boat, and the face of the moon upon which his blue eyes were fixed combined to send sleep to his eyelids. Soon he was nodding in the little boat. A few moments later he was fast asleep. The moon's rays upon his curls made them shine as if they were indeed made of gold. And children, in your English note, you can summarize what you have learned until this part of the story and you can write all the main points. Now, the village maidens were not the only ones who had noticed Francisco's blue eyes and handsome face. A water nymph who dwelt in the depths of the sea had often observed him. In the daytime, she was invisible to the eye of humans, and so the lad had never seen her though. She often spent long hours near him, never taking her eyes from his face. Here comes the beautiful youth in his little fishing boat, cried the nymph as she saw the moonlight gleaming upon his bright curls. At last, my wish has come true. Now at night he will be able to see me. She hastily arranged her own beautiful hair before a little mirror she carried with her. Some of the strands of priceless pearls which decked her lovely head were a trifle awry. These and the necklaces of rare pearls which hung about her fair throat surrounded her with a gleam of soft light, almost like the light of the moon. As she approached the little boat, she saw that Francisco was fast asleep. She swam in the direction of the lad with all possible speed, a wild terror in her eyes. She wanted to took the lad with her, as she always admired his blue eyes and handsome face. A water nymph cannot be seen in the daylight, but the lad had never seen her, though she often used to spend long hours near him, never taking her eyes from his face. And after seeing this little boat and the bright curls in moonlight, she was really very happy, and she thought, at last my wish has come true. Now at night he will be able to see me. And she hastily arranged her own beautiful hair in a little mirror she carried, and then after that she approached the little boat. She saw Francisco was fast asleep, and she swam in the direction of the lad with all possible speed. And what madness is this? This lad is sleeping, she exclaimed as she looked upon his bowed head. This frail boat would drift upon the dangerous rocks and be dashed to pieces. I will take him home to my own palace without awakening him. Perhaps when he sees how lovely it is, he will even like me a little bit. Just for a moment she hesitated, thinking of how far away from home Francisco would be in the palace of Mother of Pearl in the depths of the sea. The rocks are really very dangerous, she said to herself as she gently drew his sleeping form into her arms. The next morning, Francisco's empty fishing boat was found by the fisherman. For hours, his mother had watched in vain for his return. When at last she heard that the empty boat had been found, she was nearly wild with grief. He was the best son a mother ever had. She moaned over and over again. She was very distressed. How can I live without him? She moaned. Indeed, as the days and the weeks went by, it was increasingly difficult for the poor woman to live. She not only missed her boy's loving smile, but she also missed the fish he caught so skillfully. There was little for the poor woman to eat if she had any appetite for food. She suffered a lot without any food and also the love of her little boy. Why don't you go to the wise man of the sea and tell him your troubles? Asked one of the neighbors. The neighbors of the old women suggested that to go to the wise man of the sea and tell him your troubles. Francisco's mother knew that it was a very long and difficult journey to reach the wise man of the sea, but she decided, however, it would be worth the effort just to gaze into his wise eyes. And he knew so much, perhaps he would know how to say something to comfort her in her great sorrow and loneliness. And she strongly believed that he can able to comfort her from her great sorrow and loneliness. She had shrugged her shoulders when her neighbors had spoken of it, but she had that idea in her mind. She knew that she would never rest in peace until she had made this journey. Accordingly, she launched Francisco's fishing boat, and thanks to the smooth seas, she reached the little rocky island in the midst of the sea, where the wise man of the sea lived. His tall form was outlined above the cliff. Even as she tied her little boat, he was very tall, far taller than anybody she had ever seen, and his snow white beard fell into his feet. He was clothed in fish scales which gleamed in the sunlight. "Well, little mother, what can I do for you today?" he asked as she came up the path to summit of the rock. And children, you can summarize what you have understood and learned until this part of the story, and you can gather all the main points. The eyes of the wise man of the sea were very kind as well as full of great wisdom. Francisco's mother forgot to be afraid of him as she had expected to be. The wise man of the sea, his eyes were very kind as well as he was full of great wisdom. So Francisco's mother got very comfortable with him and forgot to be afraid of him as she had expected to be. She told him the story of her last son. The wise man listened carefully to her words, and then he said, "Good mother, I am glad to tell you that I know where your son is. He is in the power of a water nymph who has carried him away to her castle of mother of pearl in the depths of the sea." Francisco's mother felt the tears of joy well up into her eyes. "Is my boy happy there? And is he well?" she asked eagerly. "He is entirely well and happy. The water nymph gave him the philtre which has made him forget his past life entirely." "I am glad you told me that," said the boy's mother. "I was just wondering how my dear lad could be happy while here I was suffering. And he was causing me so much sorrow, I thought," she said. "He has always been the best and the kindest son with which a mother ever was blessed," she said. And children, until this part of the story, you summarize it in your English note. And let me tell you the home assignment for today's session. I hope you all clear with until this part of the story. And read chapter 4, The Necklace of Pearls story thoroughly. That is page number 43, 44, 45 and 46 twice. Read the story until we have completed today thoroughly, and after reading that, predict the remaining part of the story using your imagination and complete it creatively with illustration. And hand in your completed homework in grade 6 English Google Classroom. Children, drink plenty of water, eat healthy food, reduce your screen time, give adequate rest to your eyes, avoid using mobile phone and television often, and most of all, stay home and stay safe. Thank you so much, children.